For coming.
Okay.
Congrats, sir.
Thanks, sir.
So, why did you choose civil services as a career?
Yeah, see, first of all, I use civil services as a career because I have been seeing a lot of things in and around me where I think there is a change needed. Okay? There is a positive change which is much needed, and I thought this services could provide me that platform. I have seen a lot of things around me, for example, in various different social sectors, where I think there is a lot of improvement, scope of improvement. Because there is a lot of improvement needed. So that was all of my motivation to go behind this exam. And one more thing I would like to add is that this exam is a kind of my approach to giving back to people to whom basically who have given to me a lot of things till now.
What is your background, sir? Where you did schooling and
Okay.
graduation too?
So I have done my schooling from my hometown Gorakhpur itself. I have done my graduation from IIT Roorkee. So I have done BTech in mechanical engineering from IIT Roorkee, and then after that I have worked as a financial market analyst for 3 months, and then I resigned from my job to start this preparation. So I started preparation in September 2019.
Means you prepare for 2 years.
Approximately the whole journey has been of 2 years, 8 months approximately. So I gave two attempts in this exam. Okay, my first attempt was in 2020, and the second attempt was in 2021, in which I got to start.
So, how much attempt do you think will be enough for the preparation?
Here, in my perspective, one should clear this exam in first attempt, obviously, because if someone is going with a preparation of 1.5 years to the exam, I think that's enough if the planning is foolproof. Okay. After that, yeah, it's all about your luck. It's all about how like luck plays a role, how your hard work translates into the exam. Because see, many a times we are actually prepared for the exam properly, but the exam day is not like favoring us. Many a times the exam day is a bit off for us. Okay. So that is something which is not in our control. So if that comes like in our favor, there is a very high chance that with foolproof planning and 1.5 years of preparation, this exam can be cleared in first attempt. I was actually a bit unlucky, you can say, or a bit unprepared of the externalities in first attempt. So that's why I had to like go to second attempt. In my first attempt, I was actually ill during my first mains. Before my first mains, I got chickenpox, and then during the mains papers, I was having pneumonia, so I was not able to write papers very well. Still, I got failed by just a single mark in my mains. Okay, in my first attempt. So that's how it is. At times, you feel luck is not favoring you, but you have to persist. I was thinking of leaving this journey after all this debacle in my first attempt. I thought this exam is probably pushing me out of the race because of the happenings that were actually the events that happened. But then I gave this second attempt, and probably luck favored me a bit more. Like it balanced of the first attempt, and it favored me a lot, and that's why I'm here right now. So I think everything is all about your hard work, and you have to persist. You have to like be consistent in this journey and continuously study. Like on someday you will reap your reward, and you will be like feeling bliss. So that's how, yeah, it is. This journey is very like you can say a learning curve also, and this teaches us a lot of qualities which a civil servant needs.
Who was your role model during this journey?
See, my role model for starting this exam has been my father. Okay, his selfless service for more than 36 years. for Indian Railways has really inspired me, and his career graph, the way he has earned like image of being the best employee and etc. The image he has like made in his office, that is what motivated me to go for this public service. And one of the person who inspires me throughout the whole journey, who inspired me throughout the whole journey, and who inspires me in my life also, is the APJ Abdul Kalam. Okay, he has actually told us how to live a selfless life, how to give back to the country, which has given you a lot of opportunities.
How you did your prelims preparation?
My prelims preparation has been very simple. It goes on to like simply you have to read all the basic books and revise them, and you have to start with sectional mocks so that you can see how prepared you are in individual subjects, and then after that you have to start picking the full test mocks. So what happens is you have to use these mocks as a learning as a way to learn also, okay? Because what happens is there is a chance that you are not getting good marks in all the mocks. So you have to learn from those marks why you did not get those good marks, what were the issues, what is the optimum number of the paper, what is the optimized way of attempting paper for you at least. So that is something you have to find out through those mocks. So what I have done is I generally read one book and revised it 2 times, gave a sectional mock, and then I used to assess my preparation level. After that, I used to move on to the other subject. So all this happened, say for three months around, and in my 3 months I was ready for my prelims preparation because I had a backup of my mains preparation. I started with mains and then only started with prelims afterwards. So since I had this knowledge of mains already, I did not face any issue there. So I would like to sum it up like this: that prelims preparation is very easy when you already have mains portion prepared. You have understanding of all the topics, and then with mocks and with a good usage of your like simple knowledge, the bookish knowledge, you can sail through prelims.
And sir, what about CSAT papers?
CSAT paper is something I would be a wrong person to tell you about because my optional was mathematics. So I was like I never studied for CSAT. So I think that is one paper where I cannot tell a lot because I am not prepared for it.
Sir, as you told, you did mains and prelims preparation combined. So, should it be done combined only or first prelims preparation, then mains preparation?
See, so what you have to do is first mains preparation should be done. Okay, the mains preparation should be holistic. You should try to cover all the main topics which are not in prelims. For example, internal security or disaster management. All these topics should be covered. Okay, and after that, an integrated preparation of mains and prelims should go on. For example, history, modern history, or say polity. After that, the prelims preparation should go on. So this whole timetable is of around 1 year. For the first 8 months, the focus should be on the mains portion and the mains prelims combined portion. And for the last 4 months, it should be properly. It should be like solely on the prelims portion. So that's how the whole syllabus is planned. I have like put this plan on my Telegram channel also, and I'm trying to decode this plan and the syllabus through my YouTube channel so that people can understand what exactly I've tried to tell in that plan. Because that 1 year plan is very foolproof. The only need is to follow it like religiously and diligently. People generally doubt their plan because they think this plan is not right. They think that this plan will not work and maybe I should make another plan. But that is not the way. You have to make a plan and stick to it. No matter what is going on, you have to stick to the plan. You can make small amendments, but you don't need to change your plan every now and then because that defeats the whole purpose of this examination. This examination is about planning and then implementing, because this is what you have to do in bureaucracy also, and there you don't have this option to change plans because like many of the people's lives are actually at stake when you are taking a decision.
How you did your ethics preparation?
Okay, so ethics preparation is pretty simple. I studied from Lukman IAS handwritten notes which are available in the market. Okay, you have to read those notes, and all. In fact, I would suggest all the aspirants that rather than like going for too many books and too many sources, simply read that notes. If you think some things are not like understandable to you, or you are facing problem, okay, you can go for book and refer some of the topics, but I would suggest that those notes are comprehensive and complete. After that, I would suggest is to go for toppers copies and try to understand how to write an ethics answer, because what happens, so that is something we need to learn, because in ethics theoretical knowledge is not very much valued. You have to see practical approaches. So that is what is visible in toppers copy. And if you see the toppers of ethics papers, they generally have this writing style where they are putting very practical things, and they are trying to make it more presentable, so that people, the person who is reading his copy or her copy would understand easily what the person is trying to convey, and it is in very simple words. No very philosophical word is used, because this is a like this is a paper of UPSC, right? This is not a graduation paper of ethics or say philosophy. So that's how in very simple language, in pretty clear straightforward language, clear words, you have to tell what exactly is the answer, and you have to structure it properly so that the person can gain something out of it.
What about essay papers?
See, essay paper, again, I have not done any preparation specifically for it. I wrote some of the essays and I tried to devise a structure. I again relied on the toppers answer copies, toppers essay copies, and actually I read them 2 or 3 times so that I can understand what the structure was. In my first attempt, I gained a lot in essay. Like I got 130 marks, which I consider pretty decent, because I was not able to complete essay paper because of my bad health, my ill health. I was not able to complete essay paper also. So even after that, I got 130 marks. But in second attempt, I don't know what exactly happened. I got really less. I got 104, which is not very good marks if seen in essay perspective. In essay papers, generally people get 120 plus. So I don't know what exactly happened, but there is a chance that it was a lack of preparation also. So I would personally suggest people to prepare for essay also, and give at least a small time of say 2 or 3 days to understand what this paper demands.
Sir, you means you told in many interviews that you took economics in your graduation but mathematics in your optional subject. So what was the reason behind this?
So
Because
no,
people wants to be
I
secure.
have done my graduation. I have done my graduation in mechanical engineering. I studied economics in graduation as a part of my interest. Okay, that's why I got a job in financial market. But economics was not my graduation subject actually. My graduation was in mechanical engineering.
How to prepare optional?
Okay, mathematics.
Yes.
Mathematics is pretty straightforward optional, where you people know, everyone knows the syllabus, and it's all about what sources to follow. So I have followed books. I have not followed IMS notes, which are actually followed by most of the people here in maths optional. I tried to follow books because I could see a clear pattern that UPSC is probably going away from the routine questions and previous year question based paper. They are trying to make a new paper. So I tried to base my whole preparation on books, and Kanishak Kataria sir notes. Kanishak Kataria sir is rank 1 of 2018, and his maths notes are like very good, very good. So I cannot tell you the importance of those notes. Those notes are like a Bible to a maths optional student. I would personally suggest everyone to follow those notes and try to understand what exactly is the syllabus, and complement it with the book. And I personally suggest that those notes are enough. You don't need to even make your notes also. I did not make any notes. I used his notes itself. So that's how the whole preparation has been.
Any suggestion for those people who are not choosing maths as optional? Any way to prepare any other optional?
I would personally suggest that try to focus on your optional more and try to understand what your optional demands, because in maths the demand is very clear. You have to solve a question, you have to like bring out a correct answer and you'll get the mark. But in other options that certainty is not there. So in my personal opinion, try to find out what exactly works for your optional, and that is visible in the topper copies who actually have got marks. So I would say try to go through those copies and try to understand what exactly is the demand of the person who is checking your copies of the optional. So that is something I think would make up this your optional paper a bit more predictable. Because in math it is very predictable. In science optionals mostly it is predictable, but in humanities optional it is not.
How you prepared for your personality test?
In personality test is very simple. Personality test is, I think, the simplest stage where you don't have to prepare a lot. See, there is a detailed application form which you have already filled. So what happens is you have to prepare the detailed application form. You have to understand what aspects of your personality is something which is very unique and that might be asked in the interview. You have to prepare yourself, which I personally think is a bit easy, because a person who introspects, who thinks about own self, then it becomes a bit easy. Again, current issues are asked frequently, so you have to have an opinion on those current issues. Again, that's a personality trait to have an opinion on some issues. So if you are a kind of personality who is having opinion and a balanced opinion, so you are actually a well suited person for the interview. If it's not, you have to make up your opinion, because extreme opinions are not welcome there, and as a bureaucrat you have to be balanced and neutral. So it is very easy, I think. When you clear mains, you this time people got like more than less than 15 days actually, but in generally they get around 1 month, okay, 1 month or 40 days. So that is enough for your interview preparation. That is like more than enough for your interview preparation. You just have to revise whatever the news is going on and what is your opinion on that with some data and facts, so that you can substantiate your point. And uske alawa you have to read only detailed application form. Like you cannot do a lot of things, and in interview the key is to remain confident rather than to know the answers. You can refuse that I don't know this answer, but that should be a confident voice. That should not be someone who is like very underconfident and trying to say it in a very small pitch, very low pitch, that sir I don't know. It would seem that you are shameful of something that you don't know. No, it's not. You have to be confident that I don't know, but I know a lot that you can ask. So that should be the approach.
How can students develop their personality during their preparation?
Can you repeat?
How can students develop their personality during their preparation?
Okay, that is something this preparation teaches automatically. You don't have to work. I would suggest you to, I would suggest every aspirant to simply look at his or her life after he or she started preparation. I personally like know many of the people before the exam and around 1 year into this exam. You'll see a changed personality. You'll see that calmness in the personality. You'll see that thinking attitude. You'll see that analytical attitude in the personality if the person is a serious aspirant. So there is an automatic change coming in yourself. You just have to let it happen. You just have to be natural. You don't have to stop this flow of your personality change. You don't have to be rigid. That is very simple. See, I was a very impatient person. Okay, I am someone who wants results very easily. I'm someone who will give everything to just have a single result on the paper or on the like screen. But in my first attempt when I failed, like I was shocked. It was the first failure of my career, and I was not able to accept it. That is how immature I was in my first attempt. But in next 3 months, after all the like analytical part, all the things of like searching my mistakes, talking to so many people, I got to know that probably I did not deserve to be in civil services in my first attempt, because not because I had learned less, but just because I was lacking a few personality traits. Okay, so that one of the reason, there might be a reason that if I would have given interview in my first attempt, I would not have gotten a good mark because of that those personality traits. But in next 3 or 4 months, my personality changed a bit. I became a bit more patient, a more mature person. So in my second attempt, when my mains result came, like I was not at all happy, not at all sad about whatever is going to happen. When I got to know that I have cleared, I smiled a bit, but I was not overwhelmingly happy. So that's how you control your emotions. But if the same would happen in my first attempt, I might have been like overwhelmingly happy, and I might have like told to so many people that this has happened, and I might have actually like told it. You can say I could I might not be able to control my emotions at that time. But that's how this journey is. This journey teaches you to be emotionally intelligent. This journey teaches you to be mature. This journey tells you how to grasp success or how to accept failure. So this is how this journey is. This journey teaches you how to remain humble. This journey teaches you how to be a good person, how to be someone who is approachable. Because in this journey, you will ask 100 people about guidance, and probably there are only five or one or two selected candidates who might reply. So you know how this happens. So then you know you have to be humble, because when you texted others, they were not. So that's how this whole preparation happens.
Were you
You
active on
improve a lot of interest. What?
Were you active on social media during your preparation?
Yes, I was active on social media, but not a lot. I use WhatsApp, but those are all my family groups and 2 or 3 friends, not more. And I also use Instagram. So on Instagram also, I was not consistently active. I used to go there in 2 or 3 days, and that was solely because I was not able to manage my time for Instagram. So in 2 or 3 days, I would try to go for half an hour or 1 hour, and I would spend time there. So I don't think social media is a distraction if you use it properly. Okay, if you are using Instagram for say 2 times in a week, that is not an issue. But if you are giving 2 hours daily on Instagram watching reels of UPSC motivation, that is something which actually hurts your preparation. I never followed any UPSC page or something on Instagram. It was solely for my friends and family. So your activity on social media should be less, and focus on studies should be more. That is how the whole preparation is summed up.
So I got three questions from an unknown person that whenever I will do any other topic, I should ask him. So should I ask you, sir?
Yes.
So how to synchronize the timetable between GS and optional?
In my case, it is very simple. For other options, it may vary. But in my case, it's 60% of maths and 40% of GS. In maths optional, actually, you have to work a lot, because it is considered the most difficult option in this journey. So what happens is that we compromise GS portion a bit due to maths. So in for other options, I would suggest 50-50 would be a good way, or say 45-55 in fact. But in my case, it was 60% to the optional and 40% to the GS in my second attempt. In my first attempt, it was actually opposite, 40 to optional and 60 to GS, because my GS portion was not comprehensively complete, and that costed me also. So I would suggest go for this 50-50, 50 for optional or and 50 for GS approach for other options, and for math 60 for optional and 40 for GS.
What are the platforms for optional answer writing?
Optional answer writing. Yeah, actually, I don't know because in my optional you don't have to do any answer writing. You have to simply solve questions. So it's something you must ask to some other topper in any topper talk.
Which core area should be prioritized most for mains?
Core areas for GS portion you are asking, right?
Sir, repeat please.
You're asking core areas for GS portion, right?
Yes, sir.
The core areas actually are the things which are in news. When you read Mains 365, there are few things which are very important, which you get a knack of that this might come in the exam. For example, in IR portion, whatever is the big news in of last 1 year, that is surely in the exam. Last year it was squared. Last year one question from BRICS also or SCO it came, and these last to last year it was from WHO because COVID was going on. Few questions are very predictable. Okay, for again from food processing sector, one question is confirmed in GS3 paper, and that is pretty easy. So there are few part of syllabus that are very predictable. In disaster management, whatever disaster has like occurred in India, whatever has hit India in last 1 year, that is asked. So it is a pretty direct and a simple question. I would personally suggest, in fact, every aspirant to go through the past year papers and try to find this trend, what I'm telling. Geography is a bit unpredictable. History is predictable most of the times. Modern history is predictable. Again, polity is something which is predictable, which is very core area. So I would suggest from paper one, society is something which must be prepared comprehensively, which is core, which you will see questions every year, and those questions are not difficult, but difficult to comprehend. So once you comprehend those questions become easy. So history and society from paper one, paper two, polity and IR, and paper three, disaster management, economy, and environment. These areas are very predictable because the questions are directly from the news which is going on. For example, we were discussing V-shaped recovery, and V-shaped recovery was there in the paper, in mains paper. So that's how it is. The questions are very predictable if you have this your eyes and ears open. So you'll surely have heard about the questions which are asked.
How to prepare notes of GS?
Okay, so it's actually not possible if, to tell you here how to prepare notes. I would try to take a session, YouTube session on my channel on this. But in a small way, I would suggest, see, for notes, read a book, try to pick up all the important information. First of all, refer to previous year questions and see what at all is important from mains and from prelims perspective, and try to make notes from mains perspective. Don't try to make notes from prelims perspective because prelims is something where everything can be asked. So if for prelims, try to read from the source itself. For mains perspective, make notes by referring to previous year questions and see what is important. See, okay. After that, when you filter those information, try to write it in an answer form, question answer form. Your every note, every word in your note should answer a question. Every single page should answer a question of mains. It should not be a rather redundant information which is creating a story. No, not at all. The note should be to the point, answering a question, and it should be referring to a context which probably is in news or is very important from the exam point of view. Because your notes cannot be bulky. If someone wants to see how I made my notes, I have also uploaded all of my notes on my Telegram channel. I personally would suggest that don't directly refer to those notes, try to make your own. But if you have less time and you are giving mains of 2022, you can refer to those notes. If you are not giving mains in this attempt, like in 2022, and you are going to give 2023 attempt, try to make your own notes. And you can see how I have made your note, how I have made notes. It will be very clear.
Anything which had not been asked by me and you want to tell to people?
Yes, I would add one thing which you have not asked, but is very important, is how to like gain motivation for every studying every day. or what to do when you feel low. So there are few things I did: talking to parents, talking to friends who are unrelated to UPSC, and like talking any random thing from old times and laughing on that, trying to talk to people who are joyous always and who make you laugh, trying to initiate a conversation with any unknown person for a like for a single time. Okay, so that that unknown person also feels a bit happy maybe, and like telling the person right away that I am someone who is actually talking to you on this day. So that's how it is. That's what everything. I have not done all the things. These all the things were done by some of my friends who are selected, and what I did was simply talking to my friend parents and talking to my friends. That was enough for me to boost myself up, because my friends have been very joyous, and people around the environment around me and the people around me have been very supportive. So that has been one of the reasons why I did not feel low a lot. Whenever I felt low, they were actually there always to push me up. But if you think you are a bit lonely, you cannot talk to your parents also. So try to make a good friend circle. If that's also not there, try to go for a bit of meditation, or try to introspect. Try to learn a lot of things. Except the exam, learn a lot of things not related to exam, other than exam. Say you might start learning a few skills which are not time taking. Actually, you don't have to involve in something which is time taking. Anything which you can learn in, say, by giving 15-20 minutes of your day, so that engages you, and that like makes you cheerful. And I personally suggest everyone to be happy while studying, because that actually increases your concentration and makes you learn things which you are studying. I am a person who believes in studying less, but studying with high concentration rather than studying for 12 hours or 13 hours. I have not studied more than 10 hours any day. I have studied for 8.5 hours every day, and that was enough. And that is enough for this preparation.
Anything more, sir?
I don't think anything else. This was the question actually asked to me from by someone actually, and that's why I tried to address this.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.